Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Huge recruiting weekend for Tennessee. Sounds like Tennessee got the dub over the weekend. We got a lot to get into, a lot to talk about, but I want to start by saying Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. And I don't mean the fake ones. I don't mean the fathers. I mean the dads. I mean the real ones, the ones that invest their time, effort, and energy into their kids. And that could be biological kids, step kids, foster kids, adopted kids. Man, I even say it all the time to Coach Jay and Coach Rice, man. The football players that they coach, those are your kids. So happy Father's Day. Hope you guys enjoy some time with family. But it was a massive recruiting weekend for Tennessee. Going into it, look at the number of 5 stars. The elite level prospects like David Sanders, Caleb Cunningham, George McIntyre was in town. Peer recruiting, right? He's here to build those relationships and continue to work on guys like David Sanders and Caleb Cunningham. Also, Jamie French was in town. Jared Smith, 5-star edge rusher, was here. But the guy that I want to talk about in this video, and again, we're going to be breaking down the weekend throughout the next few days, live stream on Wednesday night. But I want to talk about Isaiah Gibson, a 5-star edge rusher, because going into the weekend, I saw a 247 Sports article naming the top 5 recruiting storylines to keep an eye on this weekend. And the number one topic, the number one recruiting storyline they wanted you to keep an eye on was, can Tennessee emerge as USC's biggest threat for 5-star edge rusher Isaiah Gibson? This is what they said. Says the nation's top edge rusher out of Warner Robins, Georgia, officially visits Tennessee this weekend. Gibson has been committed to USC since March, but he continues to test the market. Now, I was reading another article that kind of talked about why. You know, he said, I'm still committed to USC. I'm not decommitting. All signs indicate that he is going to end up somewhere else, but he said he didn't want to decommit. But he said, if I do end up going elsewhere, it's going to be big part because of culture and also location. So again, being out of Georgia, not sure that he wants to go out there with Coach Jay on the West Coast. The article goes on to say Georgia, which hosted him on an official visit the weekend of May 31st, has been widely viewed as the Trojans' greatest threat. 247 Sports reported last month that Tennessee, however, is making a charge at USC and Georgia as chief competition. Says the Vols most recently hosted Gibson back in April and subsequently got added to the calendar for this weekend. Gibson expects to carry his recruitment into the fall, but Tennessee can stamp its position as a top-tier suitor with a knockout official visit this weekend. Again, that was what they put out as their top recruiting storyline going into the weekend. How did the visit go? Where's Tennessee at? Has that timeline changed? We're going to get into it. But I need you guys to do me a favor. Do the YouTube stuff. Smash the thumbs up just below the video. It is quick, free, and easy. It does help this channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if it's your first time here, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We're not journalists. We're not reporters. We don't pretend to be any of that. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. We react to the news. We speculate. We talk all things Tennessee football all day, every day, right here on the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we drop videos or when we decide to host a live stream. We're dropping videos every single day. We're going to be live on Tuesday night. It's a big one. We're launching the Patreon for EA Sports College Football 2025. You want to be a part of the official Talkin VAWLS Dynasty. We're launching that on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll go live at 6:30. We'll launch the Patreon at 7, and then we're going to auction off who gets to pick their team first. So make sure you're here Tuesday night, 7 o'clock on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday night. We're going to be talking all things recruiting. We're going to recap this past weekend. We're going to look ahead to another big weekend coming up next weekend for Tennessee as they backloaded June with a heavy schedule of official visits. But let's talk about Isaiah Gibson. Again, a 5-star edge rusher. On3 industry rankings have him as the number 1 edge rusher in the country. Now, some people approach recruiting with a negative mindset. You're not going to land him. You're not going to get this guy. You're not going to get this guy. How happy would you be with 5-star quarterback George McIntyre, 5-star offensive tackle David Sanders, 5-star interior offensive lineman Josh Petty, 5-star edge rusher Isaiah Gibson? That's how you attack that top 5 recruiting class. And you're not going to get them all. You're not going to sign Caleb Cunningham and Jamie French. Both. You try to get one of those guys. Try to get one 5-star offensive lineman. Try to get a 5-star quarterback, right? You got to get your fair share. That's the old saying when it comes to recruiting. But Isaiah Gibson, 6'3", 263 pounds, again, out of the state of Georgia. We do have a scouting report here. I'm going to run through it because I don't think I've ever talked about Isaiah Gibson and kind of got into his scouting report, but you guys can take a look at his highlights on the screen here. Scouting report comes from Andrew Ivins, Director of Scouting over at 247 Sports. Says here, that he is a long-limbed pass rusher that can close on quarterbacks on the lighter side at this stage and lacks requisite play strength, but owns favorable measures with 7-foot wingspan and 10-inch hands on a frame that's pushing 6'4". Seems to be at his best when asked to attack the corner out of a two-point stance, as he will cross offensive tackles and dart inside or outside. Active with the hands and will do his best to fight through blocks or hold up traffic. Rather quick-footed, has flashed the ability to work laterally, but improved flexibility will only allow him to change the course much easier. Goes on to say must also keep tinkering with his technique. I know a defensive line coach that's the best in the country. Come to Rocky Top, he's going to teach you that technique. Said also add some more advanced moves to the menu if he wants to emerge as a true impact player up front. Should be viewed as a high-ceiling defender that could fit a variety of different roles, given growth potential and gap-closing bursts. Likely going to need a developmental year or two before he's ready to go on Saturdays, but could work his way into the rotation relatively early and help generate pressure in obvious pass situations. Now, that's Tennessee's loaded at the edge position, and, that's something we've talked about. I don't think I'm ever going to worry about signing edge rushers as long as Rodney Garner is in Knoxville. So if he needs time to develop, and we've seen that, right? We've seen that with Joshua Josephs. We've seen that with James Pierce when they have an opportunity to come in on pass rushing situations and just get after the quarterback. But does Tennessee really have a legitimate shot here with Isaiah Gibson, the 5-star edge rusher? Again, the number 1 edge rusher in the country, committed to USC. Georgia, Florida, Ohio State, Tennessee, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and Auburn all working on Isaiah Gibson, trying to flip him. But this is how it worked out. I remember, had it in my notes, going all the way back to February. Matt Ray said, Tennessee, if they're going to have any type of chance with Isaiah Gibson, you got to get him on campus for a spring visit. Check. They got that done in April, and then the question became, all right, he liked his visit. He enjoyed his time here. He knows what Rodney Garner's all about. He's talked about the culture, the relationship. Can you get him in town for an official visit? And after that April visit, he said, I just feel like the relationships that I've built with Tennessee over the years, they're close with my entire family. So I felt like in the moment it needed to happen. That's why I flipped it, switching the official visits, giving Tennessee the chance. That was this past weekend. Tennessee was his first big offer. So he's had those relationships for quite some time. So Austin Price said, coming out of the visit, where is Tennessee at in this thing? Do they have a realistic opportunity, a realistic shot? Austin Price this morning put out that Tennessee really impressed Isaiah Gibson, and he says, in my opinion, the Vols will leave the weekend with a great chance to flip the 5-star edge. Sound like he hopes to do something in late June or early July. Now, a lot of people thought his recruitment was going to go all the way till December. There were rumors and speculation of him taking some in-season visits. So wanted to do something in late June or July. I think that sounds good for Tennessee because they're going to have the opportunity. They're going to have, they moved the needle on this recruiting visit. Is it enough? Is it enough to surpass Georgia and USC? He's got an upcoming official visit next Saturday, next weekend. He'll be visiting Oklahoma, and then he will work towards that decision. Again, it sounds like for Austin Price that it could be late June, early July. So a lot of opportunities, a lot of optimism, man. I read all the reports that are coming out. I think Tennessee won the weekend, but the big one to me was Isaiah Gibson because, I think they have a legitimate shot with David Sanders. I think they have a legitimate shot with Jared Smith, but Caleb Cunningham, Jamie French, they had some interesting quotes. We're going to be getting into all that over the coming weeks, but to hear that Tennessee has a very realistic shot at flipping Isaiah Gibson, and again, you just point to what Rodney Garner has done with that edge position, and you can point directly to the NFL and point at Byron Young. You can look at James Pierce, who's getting so much hype about being a number 1 draft pick or at least a top 10 draft pick. You look at Jordan Ross, who just committed in this previous cycle. The edge position at Tennessee is loaded, and they are taking notice, so the Vols will have a legitimate shot to flip Isaiah Gibson. What do you guys think? Jump into the comment section again. Probably won't drop another video today. The baseball team going to be competing in Omaha later tonight. Also, it's Father's Day. Going to spend some time with the family. But we'll be dropping videos bright and early tomorrow morning. Probably a second video tomorrow afternoon. All kinds of updates and coverage coming your way when it comes to recruiting. Do me a favor and smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. I'd greatly appreciate it. It helps the channel. Jump into the comment section. Let's talk about it. Also, you want to do a little bit more, hit that join button. It's right over there beside subscribe. You can do that for as little as $1 a month. If you like the channel, the content, the videos, the live streams, games, whatever it is you like. The reason that you click on Talkin VAWLS videos, if you want to support us, think about hitting that join button. You can do it for as little as $1 per month. That is going to do it for this one. Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.